In several other videos, I have told how I've done quite a bit of camping and hunting, and some hiking, in snow and freezing temperatures. As far as clothing went, I got by fine on those trips using whatever I already had in the closet. During that time, I told myself I would eventually put together a real backpacking layering system for cold weather. I was motivated by the assumption a layering system would work well and still be lighter than the winter clothes I had been using. For a variety of reasons, I have neglected that task until recently. I quickly realized I don't have the spare money to buy the kind of winter backpacking layers made by big-name companies, the kind of clothes that are most frequently recommended. This raises two questions. If we can't afford the quality merchandise of prestigious manufacturers, can we find anything else that will work? And how do we determine how well it will work? We also might wonder how much cold we can stand in the first place, and why don't manufacturers give temperature ratings for clothes like they do sleeping bags? I should say that if I had the money, I certainly would buy the kind of winter clothes recommended by blogs and websites. I looked at those recommendations and did the math to come up with these average prices for the three outermost upper layers I saw most frequently recommended. By comparison, this is what I actually ended up spending. This stuff I tested at -7 degrees Fahrenheit to see how it worked, and we will cover those details in a minute. Many hikers know it's unusual for a manufacturer to give temperature ratings for cold weather clothes. In the description are 3 links, 2 for companies that explain why they give no temperature ratings. The third is for a site that does list them. The companies that give no ratings basically point out such ratings would be misleading, and if we were going to use their clothing as part of a layering system, that is something to consider. I also would expect some people are more sensitive to cold than others. It's not my goal to suggest anybody should make the choices I did. What I can offer instead is my experience in testing these clothes, because that made it pretty clear what these clothes will do for me. When it comes to prices, I followed my own advice given in another video to search the internet for what I could afford. The first thing I went looking for was a 100% polyester hoodie. As I said in another video, I bought such a hoodie in camouflage for hunting and was surprised at how warm it was down to 10 degrees Fahrenheit when I was basically just sitting in the woods. I found it noticeably warmer than a 50% cotton polyester blend hoodie, which is what I usually find in stores. I don't think this camo hoodie is the best for backpacking, though, because it's got a thin zipper and a small zipper tab. If my hands ever got numb, I know it would give me trouble. I already had a down jacket, but I have seen how well polyester fleece works when it's damp and how it dries quickly. I always expect to get clobbered by the worst weather possible, and usually that's what ends up happening. So in late 2016, I found a Jersey's 100% poly pullover hoodie on Amazon for $23 with free shipping. I figured I was taking 2 chances, one that the thing would fit, and 2 that it would be heavy enough. It did fit, and it weighed 13.5 ounces, about what I was looking for. I wanted one that heavy based on nothing but my conviction that the more polyester fleece weighs, the warmer it is. The camo hoodie, for example, weighs 17 ounces. The next part of my plan was to buy a down vest. I found one for $25 on Amazon, again with free shipping. It's made by Hawk & Company and has a zipper that I can deal with. The idea behind these 2 purchases was that I could hike in the hoodie and wear the hoodie and vest when I stopped for the night. Many backpackers say they're warmer when they are moving, and I am no exception. I modified the hoodie from pullover to full-length zipper. I did this because I wanted to be able to wear the vest over or under the hoodie, and I decided wrestling to get the pullover on or off was taking too much time for me. With a zipper, I could get the thing off in about 2 seconds flat. I bought a jacket zipper for $5, and I already had a sewing machine. I also reasoned that if I was getting too warm when hiking with the hoodie, at least part of the time I could just unzip the thing. That would take far less time than dropping my pack and struggling my way out of a pullover. I bought a white zipper with the idea it would help prevent fumbling around in low light. The zipper has a big tab, and I used a nail file to widen the opening on the polymer guide so I could zip the thing up really fast. Installing the zipper is a whole other story, but I got it done. I also added some stitches at the top of the hood to hold in the drawstring, which had been sliding around freely. I I had been in the habit of taking long walks near my house for physical therapy after a surgery, so I went out several nights in temperatures as low as 34 degrees Fahrenheit, wearing the hoodie over this long-sleeve light fleece pullover and a tank top. And if I tied the hood up snugly, everything felt warm enough. And then the temperature fell to 10 degrees Fahrenheit with winds gusting from 13 to 16 miles an hour, which is a wind chill between 5 below zero and 7 below zero Fahrenheit. I went out at about 10 o'clock at night with the vest under the hoodie and did a mile. While the experience was not exactly painful, I definitely felt colder when the wind got going. So I went home and added a third element of my budget system, the jacket from my Frog Togs rain suit. I tightened the hood on the jacket and did another mile, and this time I definitely felt cozy and comfy. The Frog Tog suit cost me $20. So I have concluded this outfit, which cost me a total of $73 before tax, would work down to 0 degrees if the wind isn't too bad. On my legs, I was wearing the bottom half of an old threadbare knit pair of long johns, and over that a pair of jeans with the knees worn out. And even in the sub-zero wind chill, my legs felt fine. This leads me to conclude that any fairly snug-fitting fleece bottom layer, like many outdoor companies sell, and virtually any pair of long pants, can match or exceed the performance of what I had on. Now, I should quickly emphasize there are several big footnotes. For example, if I definitely know I will backpack in sub-zero degree weather, I might take the down jacket or buy something even better. The idea behind testing the vest was to see what might happen if real cold hit me when I don't expect it. I also would expect companies that sell high-priced clothing will insist their merchandise is far more durable than the stuff I had on. I have every reason to believe they would be correct, and I wish I had the money to buy their stuff. But I have long been in the habit of pampering and taking good care of my expensive down sleeping bag, which uses a very thin fabric, and my tarp tents that are made out of nylon that weighs only 1 1/10 ounce per square yard. So if I can avoid tearing my Frog Togs off in something resembling a rage, I think the jacket can keep working. And if I'm wrong about that and I tear it, I can patch it with duct tape. As many others have found, it is a huge advantage in freezing weather if our clothing does not leave our neck exposed. For example, my down vest and jacket zip up to cover the bottom of the neck. It helps a great deal if we can tighten a hood to fit snugly. If we shop for budget clothing, we don't want this detail to be neglected. Another detail is socks, but compared to the cost of jackets, I personally consider really good backpacking socks to be affordable items. And lastly, even in the sub-zero wind chill, I was wearing my old standbys, cheap cotton gloves I got at a gas station, and my hands felt fine. As I said in another video, I have really nice fleece mittens and nice knit backpacking gloves, but it's been a long time since I felt cold enough to actually use them. It might be that the cold does not bother me as much as it does some people, and perhaps that should be taken into consideration. No matter who we are, no matter if our winter clothing is cheap or expensive, if we have the time and the opportunity to try the stuff out in freezing weather in advance, we'll have a pretty clear idea of where we stand. And with that, we're once again done. A million thanks to all my subscribers. If you have not subscribed, please consider it. And as always, thanks a lot for watching.